Narayana. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your Vedic astrology coach Rohit Kapoor and welcome to my channel The Legit Astrologer. In my channel I make videos on Vedic astrology. I talk about transits. In the recent times I have made a number of videos including Jupiter's transit in Cancer, Rahu's transit when it will be away from Jupiter's aspect, how it's going to behave for the next couple of months. Today this video is about Mars or Mangal entering the sign of Scorpio, which is its own sign. This is happening on 27th of October and Mars is going to stay in the sign of Scorpio till 7th of December. This Mangal is going to be in great dignity. Before I talk about how this transit is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs or the moon signs, some interesting insights about Mars. Mars has been given different names in different Vedic scriptures. Vedic scriptures call Mars as Mangal, Kuja, Bhoma. These are the three different names that have been given. However, my advice is to always use the name Mangal because of its positive connotation. The other names have a slightly negative connotation associated with it. Always talk positive about grahas. Therefore, some people, I get very surprised when they talk so much negative about Saturn, Mars, Rahu, Ketu. You are in a way attracting a lot of negativity. If we call Mars Mangal, which is very closely associated to auspicious activities, it is bringing in brightness and light in our life, and this is something which we must consciously try and use. Now, another interesting fact about Mars, Mars rules the sign of Scorpio, which is its own sign, and it also rules Aries. Aries is the Mool Trikon sign of Mars. So the own signs behaves like home, and the Mool Trikon signs becomes the office space for Mars. If you notice, interestingly, the sign of Aries is 6 houses away from the sign of Scorpio, which means it is a tiger's leap. Mars is the one who is always at war. It is a warrior at work. 6th house represents deaths, diseases, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. It is the house of conflict. People with prominent energies of Mars, if it is connected to prominent houses, quadrant, trinal houses, or anywhere connected to the 10th house or the 10th lord or the 6th house, it mostly becomes a situation which makes the person very competitive and step into warlike situations when it comes to work-related matters. So competition becomes the way of life, and that is something which Mars loves. That is something that Mangal thrives on. Now, interestingly, the Own and Mool Trikon sign share a 6-8 relationship. If you look at another graha which has a common connection, that is Venus or Shukra. Venus rules Taurus and Libra, and these two signs also share a 6 and an 8 relationship. Therefore, whenever Mars and Venus make a connection, make a conjunction, it is one of the most complex conjunctions to read. And it will always have a significant impact on relationship. It could either make it extremely positive or it could bring extreme level challenges when it comes to relationship matters. Now, this is something which is also by the virtue of their lordship and the kind of connections which the lordship holds with each other. During this transit, Mars will be conjoined with Mercury and it will be aspected by Jupiter. Mangal will receive the auspicious 5th aspect of Jupiter, which is the aspect of knowledge, which is also giving Mars further strength and auspiciousness. Whenever Jupiter and Mars make a connection, there are blessings of the Divine Mother, there are blessings of Goddess Parvati. So this is absolutely elevating the positive qualities of Mars for us to apply this knowledge, for us to learn the right things, for us to use our energy in the right kind of knowledge, in the right kind of learning. Mars will also come in contact with Surya later during November. And Mercury is also going to go retrograde, so there is a lot of karmic repercussion that is also happening in the month of November, but Mars is in great dignity. It is going to be in supreme dignity. It is a great respite for many people who've experienced significant challenges with regards to Mars's transit in the sign of Libra. During this transit, Mars will also be aspecting the sign of Aquarius by the 4th special aspect. So Mangal is going to have a 4th drishti on Rahu. This is the aspect of protection, Raksha. Now, Mars and Rahu share a peculiar relationship because Rahu is always a revenge seeker towards Mars. Mars will always try to overpower Rahu. So, for time being, since Rahu is away from the aspect of Jupiter, it will start receiving the aspect of Mars, which will further intensify the situation and create some sort of conflicts as well. So, those going through Rahu's major period, sub period, have to exercise utmost caution, utmost restraint over the course of next few weeks. Mars's aspect also indicates the sign of Aquarius, wherever it falls in your chart, is likely to have some or the other protection, but you can expect certain conflict in your life as well. Mars is also going to be aspecting the sign of Taurus by its 7th aspect, which is mere 50% aspect because Mars does not have a lot of desire. It will also have a special 8th aspect on the sign of Gemini, which means how long are you going to be protected and where this protection is coming from. So, wherever this sign falls in the chart is really dependent on how long are you going to be protected. At a natural level, Aquarius signs represents technology, it represents our friends, wider social network, our material gains. The sign of Gemini represents communication, change, it represents our younger sibling, co-bonds. So, of course, these things at a natural level matter a lot. Those who are going to have a maximum impact of Mars's transit in the sign of Scorpio, if you're going through Dasha, Antardasha, Pratanta Dasha of Mars, Mangal, Mercury, Jupiter, Sun, Rahu, Saturn, Venus, you are likely to be impacted by this transit. So, I would expect a majority of people to have some or the other impact of this transit. Now, let's try and understand how this transit is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs or the moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from the ascendant sign. However, at the mental or emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. Aries ascendant signs or the Aries moon signs. Mars or Mangal becomes your Lagna Lord, the Lord of the ascendant. He is the one who rules your first house, which represents yourself, your body, your vitality, your immunity, who you are. And Mars also becomes the 8th Lord of suddenness in life, longevity, places that are far off across the sea. This house represents transformation, adversities, and your ability to deal with adversities of life. It's a very weak house. We see Nija dosha from this house, which represents your inherent weaknesses. We also see debts from this house. During this transit, Mars will be conjoined with Mercury. So, the Lagna Lord moving into the 8th house and also 8th Lord moving in the 8th house is very good for transformational pursuits, particularly if it is your ascendant Lord. So, any transformation that probably you will go through over the course of next few weeks, you will have certain protection of your body, your vitality, your immunity. This time period calls for a lifestyle change. Mars is also forming a Vipareet Yoga in transit because this is the 8th Lord in the 8th house. This time period, it will be conjoined with Mercury. Mercury is a natural benefic and does very well in the 8th house. It might make you secretive. If you remain secretive in terms of your relationship, you will suffer, you will have some negative consequences. So, be very protective of your marriage, of your relationship. If you've stepped into a new relationship particularly, you have to be very cautious at this point in time. It could be a make or a break kind of a situation because 8th house represents fulfillment in a relationship, and this is where your ego can come into the picture, fiery energies, some aggressive tendencies, and also some sort of communication gap where you have to be a little bit careful. Jupiter, who has already entered your 4th house, will be aspecting Mars by the 5th special aspect. So, your Lagna Lord is receiving an auspicious aspect of Jupiter, which means that you will feel more confident. Your decisions are going to be right. There is a great protection that Jupiter is bestowing, and this time period, since it is activating your 4, 8 and 12, your Moksha trine, is also very good for spiritual pursuits, for increasing your spiritual discipline. You will be able to overcome adversities because Jupiter's aspect, wherever it falls, it expands the tendencies of this house. This is also a time wherein we could see that there are blessings of Divine Mother, blessings of Goddess Parvati, Lakshmi, Shakti. So, you could worship a female deity. Being a Vipareet Yoga in the 8th house also indicates that you're likely to gain from female or feminine energies. So, make sure that you reach out to all the female and of course the women in your life. This Mars will also be aspecting the 3rd house by the 8th special aspect. So, firstly, its 4th aspect is on the sign of Aquarius, which falls in your 11th house, which will represent where the protection is coming from. So your protection is coming from your friends, your wider social network. There is Rahu who is placed in the 11th house. Now while Mars aspects Rahu, it will try to control and overpower Rahu. Momentarily, this will be good for you because it will bring down certain conflicts and help you overcome and influence other people. You will also be able to overcome certain authority issues if you've been facing during this time. Now, how long are you going to be protected is seen from the 8th aspect of Mars, which is falling on the 3rd house. Change, your communication will play a very important role. Your younger siblings could be extremely supportive in terms of your recognition, in terms of your social gains, and in terms of matters pertaining to conflicts within your friends. This is quite a transformational time period for you. Mars will also be aspecting the 2nd house by the 7th aspect of desire. So you must bring in some change in your dietary routine. This time period calls for a lifestyle change. Use the mantra Om Namo Narayanaya, which is an Ashtakshari or an 8-syllable mantra, or you could go ahead and worship Lord Narsimha or Lord Kartikeya to gain the most of this transit. But all in all, be prepared for transformation. Taurus ascendant signs or the Taurus moon signs. Mars or Mangal is now going to be entering the sign of Scorpio on 27th of October. It will stay here till 7th of December. This falls in your 7th house. So Mangal's already been making a transit in the 6th house. For you, Mars is not the most ideal graha, but since it rules the 7th house, which is a quadrant house, it becomes important for relationship matters, marriage related matters, your expense that again are pertaining to yourself and your relationship, because it also becomes the 12th lord. So for all relationship matters, it is important. And there is a natural karma which is related to Mangal or Mars. Taurus ascendants, most of the time what I have seen in my experience is that, especially those who are married, for all the budget related activities, financial management, they would more or less rely on their partner or the spouse in case the chart is also supportive, and it is a good karma to probably have. Mangal is now entering your 7th house. So it's the 7th lord making a transit in the 7th house. It is also the 12th lord making a transit in the 12th house. Being the 12th lord, it rules your losses, expenditure, your higher self-consciousness. So which means you will be more invested in the relationship. Your expense is all about relationship, partnership, business. So you'll be more focused on business avenues, ventures, particularly if you have a sole proprietorship. If you go solo, it'll be a good time period for you. Or you will invest yourself in improving your personal relationships. 7th lord is the lord of the Jaya Bhava. We see peace and also war. Marriage, relationship, your spouse, these are opposite energies. It is the house of following. Those who follow you or those people who you follow is seen from this house. Mars, being a natural malefic, will make you more giving in nature. So this is a good time to make donations. Making donations related to Mars items or things is absolutely beneficial for you. You could donate red fruits, you could donate red pulses, red kidney beans, and of course this is an excellent time period for you in order to help others. So have a helping hand towards other people. Mars will be conjoined with Mercury. Both of them attain a Maran Karak position in the 7th house. So this indicates relationship level struggle. However, you will invest your energies on improving your relationship, because Mars is also the 7th lord and we cannot neglect this fact. If you're already married or if you are in a relationship, your partner or spouse will go out of the way. They will suffer. It is a karma that they will have during this time, but you will gain, you will have benefit out of it. Make sure that you reach out to your partner. Make sure you're there for them when they need in terms of their protection, their mental health. However, for any work, any decision, you must consult your partner, you must take their advice into account. Mars will be having a 4th special aspect on your 10th house where Rahu is placed. So your work is being protected, your karma, your actions, your job. Momentarily, this will also cause some sort of conflict, some sort of political situation at work, some sort of blockage, or you will have to face an opposition. But eventually it is being protected. So you will probably feel the heat of uncertainty, but you will come out with flying colors. Mars is also aspecting your Lagna. So there's a lot of fiery element that is coming in your ascendant. Make sure that you channelize these fiery energies appropriately. You keep yourself hydrated all through the time because there is so much Agni. You will have an overload of energy. Mars is also aspecting your second house by the 8th special aspect, which is indicative of how long are you going to be protected, where this protection is coming from. So your work protection is coming from your finances and your family. Your family, your finances and what you eat is going to matter a lot. Food related remedies are quite essential for you, and at the same time make use of donations. Try to help as much as you can to other people. Later Mars will also come in contact with Surya. So 7th house typically has heavy energies. Definitely there is relationship karma, but your health and vitality is going to demonstrate a significant improvement over the course of next few weeks. Jupiter's aspect is promoting good decision making, positive decision making, and eventually will strengthen your relationship, will strengthen your bond, and my best wishes for you. Gemini ascendant signs or the Gemini moon signs. Mars or Mangal is going to be entering your 6th house on 27th of October. It will stay here till 7th of December. This is Mangal's Gochar. It lasts for about 40-45 days. Mars is your 6th lord and the 11th lord. It becomes a potent malefic planet for Gemini ascendants ruled by Mercury. And similarly for all the Mars ruled signs, Mercury becomes a potent malefic. Now Mangal most of the time will be conjoined with Mercury. Mercury will also go retrograde. So over the course of next few weeks, you have to be very careful of your decision making, but you will go back in the past. There will be a lot of past related energies because Saturn is going retrograde, Jupiter will also go retrograde in November, and Mercury or Lagna Lord will also go retrograde. Mars being the 6th lord in the 6th house is creating a Viparit Yoga. Being the 6th lord, it rules your daily routine, things that you do on a day-to-day basis, deaths, diseases, your health and well-being, opposition, enemies, competition. Being the 11th lord, it again rules bigger enemies because this is the 6th from the 6th house. It is responsible towards your income, your Aaya. 6th house represents job. So there could be some income related increase or gain from your job. So you could have a job change to get a better paying job. This is more or less applicable in case your Dasha Antardasha is favorable. Being the 11th lord, it also rules the wider social network, your friends. 6th lord in the 6th house is a Viparita Yoga in transit. So circumstances definitely will go adverse. Eventually you will rise. So when a malefic planet at a functional level gets a fall position, it has an ability to do less harm. So Mars will make you very competitive in this house. So you will probably demonstrate a lot of competitiveness. If you're a student and sitting through competitive examination, because Mercury will also be making a transit in the 6th house in the sign of Scorpio, you have a chance of gaining from it. You can also have a chance of gaining from research related subjects. But this will inflate your ego. So you have to protect yourself. You have to be careful as well. Because of your ego, you will attract opposition, major opposition. Some very strong enemies you can create during this time. So you have to be a little bit careful. You also have to take care of your health because there could be minor issues. There could be a hospital visit. Mercury and Mars, both of their conjunction in the 6th house is not very supportive when it comes to health related matters. Keep yourself at check and ensure that you avoid extravagance and indulgence, especially when it comes to food, because this could cause issues with your digestive system. Jupiter is having a 5th drishti or a very auspicious aspect on Mars. And this is the time wherein Jupiter will also be aspecting your Lagna Lord Mercury. So your decisions could be very positive when it comes to your job related matters, work related matters. And in spite of having health issues, Jupiter is giving you the due protection. Your 2, 6, 10, the Arthur trine is very active. So it is a lot to do with work. You will feel over energetic when it comes to your work, which could cause some friction at home, which could probably cause some issues with your relationship. And this is where you would want to invest most of the time. Mars will have a 4th drishti on your 9th house, where Rahu is making a transit. Rahu is your co-bhagya lord. Mars's aspect on Rahu will try to overpower Rahu. You have to stick to the path of righteousness. Your dharma is very important to you and that should remain very important. Though Mars's 4th aspect indicates protection. So your dharma is definitely under protection, your bhagya is also under protection, but this could create some strong opposition, some politics kind of situation at work and generally in your life as well. You could be surrounded with some pessimism and negativity around people. So as long as you clear your mind and be very clear of your goals, your directions, there is no looking back. But your bhagya, your dharma definitely is being protected. You have to stay connected with your father. Your father's health could be a little bit concerning during this time. And in case you travel, if you're traveling for spiritual gains, it is going to be quite an excellent time period. You could expect foreign visits in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive. Mars is also aspecting your 12th house by the 7th aspect of desire, which is not as strong as the 4th and the 8th aspect, but this promotes spiritual gains. This promotes your energy needs to be invested in spiritual practices. Mars is also aspecting your ascendant by the 8th special aspect. You are going to decide how long your dharma and your bhagya is under protection. You will feel confident about your decision making, but you have to avoid impulsiveness. Don't rush into things. Don't have a very fast paced approach. And this is my advice for you and my best wishes. Cancer ascendant signs or the Cancer moon signs. Mars or Mangal, who is a Yoga Karaka graha for you or the most favorable planets. Reason is it becomes the 5th lord and the 10th lord. Being the 5th lord and the 10th lord, it rules 2 houses that represents Rajya or kingdom. 10th house is the Karya Bhava. It represents your profession, your action in the society, your duty, what you do, your work, job, business, whatever you do to survive and sustain yourself in this world. But you don't get king-like success from the 10th house. You get king-like success from the 5th house because 5th house has the power. It has the authority. It is the natural house of Surya. Therefore, it has been given great importance and 5th lord becomes the most important graha for any ascendant. It is also the mantra bhava. 5th lord becomes mantresha. Whether mantra-based remedies will work for you or not should only be determined by the 5th house and the 5th lord. Usually people give a lot of mantra-based remedies, but without checking the facts, we should not be giving such remedies. 5th house also represents your children. So this is the house of future. It is connected to your past deeds, but it is all about what you're going to do in your future. This is also the house of corruption because with power comes corruption as well. Mars is entering your 5th house on 27th of October. It is going to stay here till 5th of December. It will be under the very beneficial aspect of Jupiter. Jupiter is making a transit in your ascendant, activating your dharma trine. Your fundamentals are going to be very strong over the course of next couple of months. It is also an auspicious time for wealth related opportunities because your trinal house is active. Your trinal house will have Jupiter, Mercury, Mars and Saturn. So these are Lakshmi Sthan. Alright, and Mars itself is in the 5th house. It will conjoin with Mercury, who is also your 12th lord. But Mercury will go retrograde, Vakri. In this conjunction, Mars has a greater sway, Mars has a greater strength because Mars is in its own sign. So of course, for future pursuits, planning, positional success, you can expect some gains. Jupiter's aspect is further giving its boost. There are blessings of the Divine Mother. This time period could be quite a breakthrough time period for you for future pursuits and positional success. Mars is going to have a special 4th aspect, 4th drishti on your 8th house where Rahu is placed. So Rahu is your co-8th lord and momentarily Mars will have a 4th drishti which is the aspect of protection. So your transformation, any sudden events, any suddenness in life is going through protection. You're being protected by debts, you've been protected by adversities of life. So this is good for your health, good for your vitality in case you've been facing any chronic issues or any sudden health issues. There is going to be definitely a solution for this, but this will bring in transformation, this will bring in change. So be change ready is what I'd like to say because Mars and Rahu have a peculiar, revenge and a hateful relationship, but Mars is definitely overpowering Rahu. Mars is also aspecting your 11th house. So friends need attention. Anything related to your younger siblings could cause some concern during this time. Mars also has a special 8th drishti on your 12th house. So your expenditure, what you give, what you donate, how you help others, how you are becoming more self-aware is going to be the most important factor to ensure your health is protected, your transformation is being protected, and any of your weaknesses being protected. So that is in your hand. So when you expense on right deeds. This is a good time period for you to donate to temples, and you can also, from a remedial point of view, donate something related to construction of holy shrines, holy places, depending on your belief system and your religion. So of course, work towards helping the temples. Your Dharma trine is any which way very active during this time. Mars is also your 10th lord. 10th lord making a transit in the 5th house does bring work related success. It could be a financial gain at work, it could be recognition. Surya is also going to be conjoining Mars later in November, which is forming a very strong Dhan Yoga. So from mid-November till early December, you could expect a rise in your financial position. But you have to keep your ego aside, because you could be quite egoistic during this time, and that could cause some friction or be detrimental with other people. Now, this is the time when you could use mantra-based remedies. You could use a Narsimha mantra, which would be absolutely beneficial for you, or the Bij mantra of Mangal. And my best wishes for you. Leo ascendant signs or the Leo moon signs. Now, Mars for you, Mangal, is a Yoga Karaka Graha, or the most auspicious planet. It also becomes a Badak because it is the 9th lord, and you're a fixed sign. For the fixed signs, 9th house and the 9th lord becomes the Badak Stan. So if Mars is ill placed, it could bring obstructions, but if it is well placed, especially if it's in quadrant, trinal houses, if it is in good yogas, it mostly delivers auspicious results for Leo ascendant signs. Mars is entering Scorpio on 27th of October. It is going to stay here till 7th of December. Mangal is your 4th lord and the 9th lord. So being the 4th lord, it rules your happy space, your comfort space, your home, homeland. This is the house of your mother. This is also the house of your protection. And it is the Sukha Bhava most importantly. So for happiness and comfort, Mars becomes very important. Mars also becomes the 9th lord of your Bhagya Bhava. Long journeys, higher education, spiritual education, your father, your lineage, your dharma is seen from this house, your Bhagya or fortune is seen from this house. So being the trinal lord, making a transit in the quadrant house, is a yoga in transit, but being the 4th lord in the 4th house is quite a powerful position. Mars is also Bhumi Karak. So it represents land, which is associated to the 4th house. So if you have any transactions related to land or your personal assets, you could gain during this time because fortune is going to be favorable for you. Depending on your ongoing dasha, antadasha, and generally speaking as well, when people probably go for purchase of land, Mars's transit plays a very important role regardless of your dasha, antadasha. So in a general sense, Mars has a positive transit, so people can get into transactions related to land matters. Mars will be conjoined with Mercury, who's your 2nd and the 11th lord, and they're forming a Dhan Yoga because Mars is your 9th lord. This Dhan Yoga is related to your home, so there could be some gain of finance at your home, either with you or someone in the family. In case you have a family business, you could gain from the family business, or someone at your home can have a rise in their income. Mars is going to be under the auspicious aspect of Jupiter, which is protecting your home, which is protecting your assets, which is also increasing your spiritual practice because your 4, 8, 12, the moksha trine will be very active during this time. But this aspect is very auspicious. It is further giving strength to Mars and their blessings of the Divine Mother. Please worship Goddess Parvati, Shakti, Durga, Lakshmi, or any female deity over the course of next couple of months. Mars will also be conjoined with Surya, your Lagna Lord, later in November. So between mid-November till mid-December, your decision making is going to be very right. You will have a lot of confidence and you will gain through assets, or you will invest in other assets. This could be a favorable time period for you. Mars is going to be aspecting your 7th house by the 4th special aspect, which is the aspect of protection or raksha. Your relationship somehow is going to be under good protection because your Bhagyesha is aspecting the 7th house. There is Rahu, who's already making a transit, gaining direction strength. But I expect very less negative things to occur when it comes to relationship and harmony in your relationship. Your spouse or partner can really go out of the way to help you, to support you. Mars is also having the 7th drishti on your 10th house, on your Karya Bhava. So this will ensure that it gives you the right kind of energy at work, but you will be more energetic at home compared to how you will be at work. So in case you're working from home, it is good news for you. Now Mars will also be aspecting the 11th house by the 8th special aspect, which means how long you are going to be protected, how long your relationship is going to be protected. So from friends can play an important role, your wider social network can play an important role, or your gains could play a very important role in ensuring that your relationship is being protected. So in case you have some issues, reach out to your friends, take some advice, take advice of your guru, mentor, or your senior, someone who is authoritative, someone who has an influence. And my best wishes for you. Virgo ascendant signs or the Virgo moon signs. Mars or Mangal is going to be entering Scorpio on 27th of October. It will stay there till 7th of December. Mars for you is the 3rd and the 8th lord. So it rules two not so good houses. It becomes the potent malefic planet in your case. However, during this transit, it will work very well for you because it is the 3rd lord making a transit in the 3rd house, and Mars is also the significator of the 3rd house. So its significations are going to be quite supreme. But it is going to influence your Lagna Lord Mercury. Being the 3rd lord, it rules your valor, courage, your co-bonds, particularly younger siblings, change, your communication, and your efforts. Whatever efforts you put in life that are seen from the 3rd house, it is also the Upachaya Bhava, which represents growth. Being the 8th lord, it represents your debts, weaknesses, sudden changes, sudden ups and downs, transformation. This house also represents longevity, but we mostly see Nija dosha or your inherent weakness from this house. And 8th lord generally holds a neutral disposition, but since Mars is 3rd and the 8th lord, it becomes a potent malefic. During this time, it will make a transit and conjunction with your Lagna Lord Mercury. So Mercury is under the influence of Mars, so you will have a lot of energy boost. You will not shy away from putting efforts because 3rd lord is making a transit in the 3rd house. Mars is also the significator of the 3rd house. So he'll give you valor, he'll give you courage and the determination to put efforts in your life. Mercury's conjunction will increase your confidence, but this could also make you overconfident and highly impulsive in anything that you do. So you have to move away from fast, quick decision making and quick thinking, because this could be detrimental towards your relationship, detrimental towards your finances as well, because you could end up making a big purchase, some unplanned expenditure could come, or some unplanned change could occur during this time. Mangal is under the auspicious 5th aspect of Jupiter. So will be your Lagna Lord Mercury, which will promote positive decision making, which will promote good health and vitality and also good protection. So in terms of putting efforts, it's an excellent time. Change is inevitable. Since your 3-9 axis is involved, this could mean that you might go on journey, travel, or you might start a new work. But beware of impulsive tendencies. Think through, try a slow, steady approach for you to decide. Mangal will be aspecting the 6th house by the 4th special aspect. So your debts are being protected. You could be in a position to repay your debts over the course of next few weeks in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive. Your daily routine is being protected. Your health is being protected. In case you are facing any issues with regards to your health, your immunity, your vitality, now you will see some improvement. Now this protection is coming from the 10th house where Mars has the 8th special aspect. So your work will play a very important role. Because if you invest your energies in work, you will feel good, you will feel healthy, you will have a good lifestyle, you will make some good decisions in terms of your daily routine and things that you do on a day-to-day basis. And this is where the protection is coming from. Your work, your job is going to ensure how long this protection is going to last. Mars also has an aspect on the 9th house, which is not as influential as the 4th and the 8th aspect, but somehow you have to protect your dharma. You have to stick to the path of righteousness over the course of next few weeks, because your Artha trine is any which way extremely supportive during this time, but your Kama trine is also very supportive because of Jupiter's aspect. So you'll have high sense of desire. Mercury and Mars are in the 3rd house, Jupiter is in the 11th house, and Saturn is retrograde in the 7th house. So you will have a disbalance when it comes to managing your own inner desires, and this is where you have to take cautious steps. Continue to strengthen your Lagna Lord Mercury by looking up to Sri Hari, Lord Vishnu. Journal, because anything that you use while your hands are in use would be good for you. So you can write journals, or you could exercise in the gym, or probably anything that you could do where your hands are used. Physical sports will be good again where your hands are used from a remedial point of view, and my best wishes. Libra ascendant signs or the Libra moon signs. Mars or Mangal is going to be entering Scorpio on 27th of October. He will stay there till 7th of December. This is Mangal's very strong transit in its own sign of Scorpio. For you, Mars becomes the 2nd and the 7th Lord. So it plays a very vital role when it comes to relationship matters. Being the 2nd Lord, it rules your family, your Dhan Bhava, your accumulation, your storage space, what you store, those people who you would like to protect. It is the house of consumption, food, what you consume. Being the 7th Lord, it is the Jaya Bhava. We see peace and also war, marriage, relationship, partnership. Businesses are seen from the 7th house. Therefore, for marital harmony, family related matters, finance related matters, Mars becomes a very important graha for Libra ascendants. This Mars was making a transit in your ascendant, giving you a huge energy boost, but bringing in a lot of impulsiveness in your life as well. Now it is going to be moving in the 2nd house. Mars is a fiery planet. So fiery energies in your 2nd house, you have to be very careful of what you say, what you speak with others, because you could have aggressive tendencies. The nature of Mars is Agni, that is the element it is associated with. It will also be conjoined with Mercury, who is the significator of communication. So you could have some aggressive tendencies here because Mars has a stronger disposition. Think before you speak. This is my genuine advice for you. Try to channelize these energies in the appropriate manner so that you can influence other people and have work related gains, because November, December is very crucial for work related matters. Your 2, 6, 10 trine is going to be very active. Mars and Mercury are in the 2nd house, Saturn in the 6th house, Jupiter is in the 10th house. Mars and Mercury will also be under the auspicious 5th aspect of Jupiter, which will ensure protection, which can also give you some financial gains, because this is where your 9th Lord Mercury is also involved. So somehow you will try to use your wisdom, your sense of judgment when you're communicating with other people. You might have to go through some changes in your diet, changes in your eating to protect your health and well-being, because health and well-being could be quite moderate. So this is an area where you have to even focus a bit more than ever. Mars will be aspecting your 5th house by the 4th special aspect. By the 4th special aspect, it means your 5th house is under good protection. So your children are under good protection, your future is under good protection. There is Rahu who's making a transit. Mars is trying to overpower this Rahu momentarily, which could create issues with people who you work with. So be very careful and avoid stepping into any political situation or any quarrel or argument with other people. You could face some strong opposition during this time. So time to stay low key momentarily. Mars will also aspect your 8th house by the 7th aspect, which is mere 50%, but this promotes and gives a lot of energy in transformation activities. Mercury will also be having an aspect. When it goes retrograde, this will be even more strong. So transformation is inevitable. Make sure that you keep your lifestyle at check. Mars is also aspecting your 9th house by the 8th special aspect. Your dharma, bhagya, or some father figure would ensure how long you are under this protection, how long your future is going to be protected. It is time for you to learn. Go for higher learning, go for spiritual education, and go for traveling as well. Long journeys, spiritual journeys that could be quite beneficial for you. That could give you some kind of an enlightenment, which will be very beneficial for your health and well-being, and my best wishes for you. Scorpio ascendant signs or the Scorpio moon signs. Mars, who is your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant, and he also becomes the 6th Lord. Therefore, a very important graha for you because Mars rules your first house. That represents yourself, your body, your vitality, your immunity, who you are. This is your self-confidence. This house has the power of Thi, which is your conscious brain, your conscious thinking, conscious decision making. Your body, your vitality, health and well-being, knowledge and intelligence is seen from the first house first. Then of course the other houses matter. Mars also becomes the ruler of the 6th house of deaths, diseases, things that you do on a day-to-day basis, competition. Enemies are seen from the 6th house. Now Scorpio is the own sign, home of Mars. Aries is Mool Trikon. It is 6 houses away. So naturally you have a karma of being a warrior at work, constantly at battle when it comes to job related matters, constantly transforming. Job could become the biggest concern in life at the natural level, and always talking about it either positively or negatively, or always expressing or voicing out your concern that why is it happening with me. Alright, this is a karma at a very natural level. Now Jupiter will also have an aspect on Mars, who is making a transit in your ascendant, in your Lagna. So it gives you a lot of firepower in the ascendant. Though Scorpio is a watery element, but this water is deep, dark waters. So of course it is giving you a huge energy boost momentarily. It will be conjoined with Mercury, who gains directional strength in the ascendant. Mercury is also your 11th Lord. It will also go retrograde. So both of them definitely are bringing in some relationship karma. So you will have some issues with regards to your marital life, relationship or sense of harmony. But personally, your personality will improve. You will have energy and you will have the power of communication as well, which will help you excel. And this is clubbed with the 5th auspicious aspect of Jupiter. Your health and vitality is going to improve. If there have been any past issues that have come again, that have revisited you, you could face some respite protection over the course of next few weeks. This is where Jupiter's 5th aspect is auspicious, which will give you positive decision making as well, because your quadrants are going to be active and your trines are very active because Mars, Mercury in Lagna, Saturn retrograde in 5th house, Jupiter in the 9th house, and later Jupiter is also going to go retrograde. So financial gains could be inevitable because your Lakshmi Bhav, Lakshmi Sthan is very active. So is your Dharma Trikon. You need to stick to the path of righteousness. That is very important for you. Mars is going to be aspecting your 4th house by the 4th special aspect, which is the aspect of protection or Raksha. So your sense of comfort, home, is under good protection. This calls for protection of your assets. If you've had any paperwork with regards to your assets, if you had any issues with your vehicle, you would see some respite over the course of next few weeks. This protection is coming from your 8th house. The 8th house would determine how long are you protected, because Mars has a special 8th aspect on the 8th house. Your own transformation and the ability to cope up with adversities will ensure that you're being protected. But you could be very secretive with your partner. And of course, if it is for your benefit, it is fine. Otherwise, it could be detrimental towards your relationship. But this is the natural karma that you have. Mars will also be aspecting your 7th house. There are fiery energies in the 1-7 aspect. So make sure that you continue to build your self-confidence. From a remedial point of view, you can continue to worship Lord Narasimha or Lord Kartikeya or Lord Shiva, Mahadev. Look up to him and you will be protected. Most importantly, you have to channelize the overflow of energy, because this is bringing in a lot of passion in your life, in your temperament, and also in your personality. And my best wishes for you. Sagittarius ascendant signs or the Sagittarius moon signs. Mars or Mangal, who's an important graha for you, because Mangal becomes your 5th lord. Being the 5th lord, it is one of the most important planets because this house represents your future, positional success. We see children from this house, therefore this is the house of future. Mars also becomes your Mantresha or Lord of Mantras, because this is the house of mantras. This is also the house of power, and with power comes corruption. Rise in your life is seen from this house. This house also is a Lakshmi Bhava, and that represents wealth. So for wealth related matters, financial matters, 5th house and its Lord plays a very important role, and this Lord gives very auspicious Dhan Yogas. Mars also becomes your 12th lord, the lord of expenditure, losses, your higher self-consciousness, your sleep, bed comforts, your ability to be more self-aware. This is also seen from the 12th lord. Your ability to help others, your ability to donate, give away things is also seen from the 12th lord. Mangal is going to enter your 12th house in Scorpio on 27th of October. It will stay here till 7th of December. Now, being the 12th lord, making a transit in the 12th house is a Viparita Yoga in transit. Circumstances will go adverse. Eventually, you will rise. Mars will be conjoined with Mercury during this time. Mercury is the 7th and the 10th lord in your case. So, there are two things which will call for greater attention: your relationship and your work. You are likely to experience certain imbalance or a difficulty in terms of managing your relationship and also your work, or you will have some issues with regards to workplace relationship. Be careful of other people at work over the course of next few weeks. You can also be given new assignment, a very challenging assignment, a new project. Now that depends on your ongoing dasha, antardasha, but this will be a time for you to prove yourself. So this could affect your confidence. This could affect your ego. So as long as you keep your ego aside and take that as a challenging opportunity, this could be good for you. So convert your weaknesses into strength. This is the mool mantra of this transit. Be very protective of your sleep, of your personal comfort. You have to ensure that you make your night sleep as your priority and ensure that you get a good 7 to 8 hours of sleep, because there are chances, because of some fiery energies and disbalance in terms of tattva level. Mercury is Prithvi Tattva, Mars is Agni Tattva, so there is a Tattva level disbalance here in the 12th house, which could create issues with sleep. You could also become very impulsive in your expenditure. So your expenditure is likely to rise, but as long as you don't overspend. So you could have stress spend, you could have impulsive spending, you could buy something in a very quick succession and later regret. So make sure that you take due consultation of your partner. Make sure that you think before spending your money. Get into a budgetary exercise. Try to save as much as you can and try to stay low key. Jupiter is having a beneficial aspect on Mars and also Mercury on your 12th house, which is giving you good protection, which is giving you good spiritual pursuits. Your 4, 8, 12 axis is absolutely active because a number of planets will be there, which is indicative of greater spiritual practices. So you must engage yourself in yoga, sadhana, meditation and any spiritual remedies. Use the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, which is Dwadashakshari or 12 syllable mantra for your protection. Mars is going to be aspecting your 3rd house by the 4th special aspect, which means that your efforts are under great protection. Your communication is under good protection. This protection is coming from your 7th house, where Mars has an 8th special aspect. So your business or your spouse, your partner will ensure how long you have this protection in terms of effort. So they will be very encouraging. And you must feel motivated from other people, particularly who you are in relationship with. Take their advice into account. Mars is also aspecting your 6th house, which again is indicative of greater focus on spiritual practices in your day-to-day life and also to improve your daily routine. And my best wishes for you. Capricorn ascendant signs or the Capricorn moon signs. At the physical level, you will see this from your ascendant. At the mental emotional level, you can also see this from your moon sign. Now Mars is entering Scorpio, which falls in your 11th house or the Ekadash Bhava. 11th house represents gains, your wider social network, material comforts of life. This is the Maya Bhava. It is the house of illusion. It is also the house of fulfillment. So fulfillment is seen from this house. This house also represents bigger enemies, greater enemies. Mars holds an inimical relationship with your Lagna Lord Saturn. Saturn does not like Mars at all because Saturn gets debilitated in the sign of Mars. However, Mars always feels supreme or overpowered, in an overpowering position, because he gets exalted in the sign that is ruled by Saturn. Your 11th Lord is making a transit in the 11th house. Mars does very well, being a natural malefic and a functional malefic, malefic in nature as well. It does very well in the 11th house because this is the Upachaya Bhava. This is the house of growth. So 3, 6, 10 and 11 are very good houses for such planets. This Mars also rules your 4th house, which represents your happy space, your comfort space. So Mars mostly has a neutral disposition here. It rules your mother, your homeland, your sense of protection, your safe space, your happy space, your comforts, your assets. And it will also be conjoined with Mercury, who is your 9th lord. Your Bhagyesha is an important planet, but Mars has a greater strength. So your Bhagya is under the great influence of Mars. They will have a benefic 5th aspect of Jupiter. So I consider this Mars transit mostly beneficial because it does very well in the Ekadash Bhava. Any planet does well, especially when it comes in the auspicious aspect of Jupiter. You definitely have a chance of gain of income. Bhagya is going to be very supportive. Now briefly, Mercury will also go retrograde, it will go Vakri. So later in November, it will be an excellent time for you to plan ahead of the time. Invest your energies in future planning, future decision making. You might have to take some big decisions of your life. But you should have a slow paced approach instead of a very fast paced approach, because impulsiveness could be detrimental towards your decision making. So as long as you're very clear about it, as long as you take the ownership and accountability of your decisions, it's a good position for you. Otherwise, this could be detrimental. Take your partner into account, take your family members into account before deciding, because Mars is aspecting your 2nd house by the 4th special aspect. Your financial wealth is under good protection, your family is under good protection, your food is under good protection. As long as you manage a good lifestyle, you will not have a lot of health issues. Otherwise, this could be detrimental for yourself. You could have some opposition, very strong opposition as well during this time. That could be mentally concerning for you. Mars is also going to be aspecting your 5th house by the 7th special aspect. So invest your energy in future planning. Mercury will also have this aspect. Later, Mars will be conjoined with Surya as well, which is bringing in transformation, a lot of fiery power, a lot of fiery energies in your 11th house. And Mars is also aspecting your 6th house by the 8th special aspect. So whatever you do in your day-to-day basis, so a daily discipline, a daily routine is very important for you for protection of your finances, your food and your family. You could also have some repayment of debts, repayment of loans over the course of next couple of months in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive. From a remedial point of view, you must continue to strengthen Mercury, who's your 9th lord, the lord of the Bhagya Bhava, to get the due support of your Bhagya. You will have very high desires because Saturn's in your 3rd house retrograde, Jupiter is in your 7th house, later it will also go retrograde, and Mercury and Mars are positioned in the 11th house. What you need to do is you need to channelize these desires appropriately, and this is where take account of your impulsiveness, get into some spiritual practices, continue to use Bija Mantra of Mercury or a Vishnu Mantra to strengthen your Mercury, and my best wishes for you. Aquarius ascendant signs or the Aquarius moon signs. Mars or Mangal is going to be entering Scorpio. That is happening on 27th of October. It will stay here till 7th of December. The sign of Scorpio falls in your 10th house. Mars or Mangal gains directional strength, or it is Digbali in the 10th house. It is a very powerful position. Therefore, there are blessings of Devatas. There are blessings of Lord Narsimha, Lord Kartikeya and Shri Hari, Lord Vishnu during this time. You must look up to him, you must worship him and do mantras related to Lord Vishnu over the course of next couple of months for your benefit. Mars will also be conjoined with Mercury. Mercury is the significator, Naisargic Karaka of the 10th house because he represents learning. 10th house is the house of work. Now, in order to work, you must learn. So, the energy powerhouse is making a conjunction with that who signifies learning. So, you will have a lot of high energy when it comes to work related learning. So, over the course of next 40 to 45 days, it is a very good time period for you to invest your energies in educating yourself, in upskilling yourself, in learning anything that could have a direct impact at your work, in your job or in your business. Mars is the 10th lord himself being placed in the 10th house in transit. Mars also becomes your 3rd lord, the one who rules valor, courage, efforts, change. This is also the house of growth. This is also the house of desire. Very high desires are seen from the 3rd house. So any efforts that you put with regards to your work, with regards to your career choices, decisions, you have due support. Mars and Mercury, both of them will be aspected by Jupiter. Jupiter will have a fifth auspicious aspect on your 10th bhava on Mars, which of course will bring some positive developments with regards to workplace matters. This could initially start with some opposition, some energy level disbalance. So either you will face some opposition that could seem to be strong to you, but eventually you will come victorious, or you will be able to overcome that opposition. So be very careful of strong political situation at work. Use your own judgment, your own wisdom, your learning and your own energy. Trust in that. You will have an overflow of energy at work, which could cause some friction at home. So you need to strike a balance between your work and your family life. This could become a little bit concerning. Your health and vitality is going to be under good protection, but you will have very high sense of goal-centric mindset, because this is time for work. Your 2, 6 and 10, this axis is going to be absolutely active. You will be very focused on wealth creating opportunities in work related matters, which could cause some sort of friction in your family life, and this is where you have to be a little bit careful. Mars is going to be aspecting your ascendant, your lagna, by the 4th special aspect. So you are under good protection over the course of next few weeks, because this aspect of Mars is about protection. Rahu is already making a transit in your lagna. Somehow you will feel less confident and you can get influenced by other people. So you have to be a little bit careful, because Mars and Rahu particularly have a difficult relationship, and Rahu is your co-lagna lord. And this is where you have to trust your own judgment. Continue to strengthen Saturn, your lagna lord. Use the mantra Om Sham, or use the Vishnu mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya to gain the most during this time. Now Mars is also aspecting your 5th house. Your sense of future decision making, any mantra based remedies, your children are going to ensure that you get protection. Your decision making, your knowledge, your intelligence is being protected. But you have to strike a balance between your personal life and your work life, because this is where you're likely to struggle over the course of next few weeks. This time period would advise you to take some critical work related decision and channelize the sense of your desires, and my best wishes for you. Pisces ascendant signs or the Pisces moon signs. Mars or Mangal is going to be entering Scorpio on 27th of October. It will stay here till 7th of December. Finally, Mars is moving out of the Aries sign of Libra and entering its own house of Scorpio. I shared some very interesting insights about Mars and about this transit in the beginning of my videos. Please watch the first few minutes. This falls in the 9th house of Bhagya. Higher education, spiritual education, long distance journey, your father or father figure, your mentor and teachers are seen from this house. This house also represents your lineage, because we see father, and this house also represents your dharma. So it is a very important trinal house. Mars becomes your 9th lord. So 9th lord making a transit in the 9th house is quite an auspicious time period for you. Mars also becomes the 2nd lord, the lord of your dhan bhav, your family, your accumulation, your sense of belonging, and of course those things or people who you would like to protect. Your consumption, your food choices is also seen from the 2nd house and its lord. So this is naturally a dhan yoga in transit. Mars is your 2nd lord. It will be conjoined with Mercury, who is your 4th lord in the 9th house, and it will be aspected by your lagna lord Jupiter by the 5th special aspect. So this is a financial yoga, a dhan yoga in transit. Fortune is favorable. In the conjunction of Mars and Mercury, Mars has a greater say, Mars has a good strength, a better dignity. So it will always have an upper hand during this transit. But this could give you a shifting tendency. Later when Mercury goes retrograde, you need to ensure that you stick to the path of righteousness, you stick to your dharma. Be the protector of your dharma, your fundamental principles. You can also have travel opportunities. If you've been looking forward to settling outside of your home country, either make a visit, a long distance travel, or for the purpose of settlement, this time period could be favorable for you, because Mars has a 4th special aspect on your 12th house, where Rahu is already making a transit. So Rahu is under a great influence of Mars over the course of next few weeks. For your Lagna, it is good. So this could give you some gains from foreign lands and of course bring some fruitful foreign visits. Mars will also be aspecting your 4th house by the 8th special aspect, which means that your expenses are going to be protected by your assets or by the role of your mother and your safe space. You will demonstrate compassion. You will be compassionate towards your own money, towards your own expenditure. That will reduce your expenditure. So that itself is going to put you in a better financial position, but you have to protect your dharma. Your dharma trine is very active. Jupiter has an auspicious aspect on your 9th house and also on your Lagna, giving you good protection. And also you need to stick to the path of righteousness. That is most important for you. Avoid overindulgence, avoid extravagance of any kind. This is something which you have to keep yourself away from. Later, what is also happening is Mars will be conjoined with Surya between mid-November till early December. Surya is the significator of the 9th house. He represents dharma. So you will be very dharmic over the course of next few weeks, and this is something which you have to continue to protect and invest your energies in. From a remedial point of view, what you can do is you can teach others. You can make some donation towards children and their education. So either education related material, you could donate books, you could donate stationery. This will help you remedy all the negative or the obstacle related influences of Mercury, because Mercury becomes your Bhadakesh, the one who rules obstacles as well. But you have to remember that Mars is having a stronger position here. So make sure that you stay and stick to the path of righteousness. From a remedial point of view, continue to look up to Jupiter. He is the one who will guide you, protect you, and of course do everything for you over the course of next couple of months. May you take some of the most important financial decisions in your life. So friends, this was yet another unique video on Mars' transit in its own sign of Scorpio, which is going to be quite intense, exciting, and extremely positive for our energy levels and for this world. I hope you like this video. Stay tuned for more such videos on my channel. Thank you very much. God bless you all.